Innovation. We really need staff for diversity. And I'm not just talking about hiring decisions. I'm talking about who are the people that you surround yourself with when you try to come up with new ideas, when you try to execute projects. Is it always the same people? Is it the logical set? Because if it's the logical set, you know that everybody else is going through those same people as well. You need perhaps to mix it up. And it doesn't require a whole lot. I had this recent story told to me from the lead designer of a video game company called DICE. They made a game called Mirror's Edge. This is where the story comes from. They're about to come out with Battlefield 3, for those of you that are playing this stuff. It's looking awesome. Now, here's how it usually works in the video game industry. You have animators over here, you have programmers over here, you have designers over here, and they sit in different parts of the building, they send specifications to each other to get stuff done. Now, does that amount of anything?
Yes.
Okay, now, so he said, you know what, wait, actually he said that after having read my book, so I like that. So he read my book, and he said, how can I do this? And decided to ask for a bigger office, which he got. And then in that office, he squeezed these people. He had an animator sitting next to a programmer, sitting next to a designer, sitting next to an animator. And he said, for 2 weeks, he thought they were going to kill each other. But then something changed. The conversation changed. It used to be like this. Can you do this? No. That's how it used to be. But now it would be, can you do this? No, but I can do that. Interesting. Well, what if I build on that? Hear what you're talking about, and I'd like to add. When the game came out, they won all kinds of innovation awards. Not because they had a special, specific innovation program that got it started, but because they just changed the way they worked. They're already relying on the existing perspectives and the leverages. That is true. Certainly for you guys. You are finding yourself working with people from lots of different backgrounds. It opens up possibilities to create interesting projects like this one, which is on the PNC building, Horticulture and Design, when they created this building side for the PNC Bank. This is basically, I think, was it 15,000 evergreens that they have on the side, growing, making it very cool, but also it brings down the temperature for about, or the energy use, about 25% for the offices that are behind that wall. How are you going to come up with these ideas? How are you going to come up with thinking about this? You're going to come up with it tapping into a much more diverse set of people, people with diverse backgrounds, so that when you're combining, when you're discussing, you're coming up with ideas, you are coming up with something that is different. Now, some people may interpret that as all we need is to bring together everybody, and then when we do that, the architect's going to work over here, the engineers are going to work over here. Like, we're sort of in the same space, but we're not really interacting. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. Having diversity is critical. In other words, staff innovation, ensuring that you're tapping in to a broad base of perspectives, but you also need to leverage that. Sometimes you have to force the combinations to happen. This is a concept card designed by Bobo. It's a brainstorming exercise, so it's about coming up with lots of new ideas. Now, this is the world's first concept car designed by an all-female engineering team. Now, before I go on, that right there is a guy. But he was the CEO at the time, so he was standing there. But they came up with hundreds of ideas that I just hadn't thought of. For instance, they learned that on average, women do not particularly enjoy opening the hood of a car. I don't like it, right? Something goes wrong. I'm probably going to call somebody. And I live in New York this time, so I don't even own a car. I'm renting it if I'm doing that. Okay, anyway. They opened the hood of a car, and they said, why do we open the hood of a car? The most common reason is to pour in washer fluid. So I said, well, we don't open the hood of a car to put in gas. We put in gas through a hatch on the side of the car. So that's what they decided. A hatch on the side of the car where you can pour in washer fluid. As long as You don't put these two hatchets right next to each other. You got something. Sounds pretty obvious. The thing was, the reason they did this was not so they could have an all-male engineering team, an all-female engineering team. The reason they did it was because in the monoculture that existed at Volvo, they realized that they weren't really getting the female perspective involved in the design and production development process. What happens they did? This changed the way they approached design. This changed the way they approached product development. Because they realized that we are sitting in a complete perspective, not even bringing into the process. I believe this is true for teams all over the world. And in fact, I'd like to see what we can do about that right now in this room. So we're going to do a very, very quick exercise. It's going to involve you standing up and pointing off the person next to you.